Hi, Ms. Dowland. How are you doing?
Great, thanks.
Okay, I have some questions about you in France.
All right.
So, first question. What is some of your most favorite foods in France?
That's a great question because in France, did you know that they take their food very seriously? They're very big on how it looks and how it tastes. Some of my favorites are things as simple as les crêpes with Nutella. You may call them crepes. And then we can get a little fancier. We can call, I love pain au chocolat, which is a pastry with 2 sticks of chocolate in it. It's even better if you add some almond paste to it. So delicious. Even their croissant and their baguette are nothing like you eat from here. I also love things like quiche and escargot, which is snails. Some other very popular foods among youth are les frites, which you may know as French fries. Only in France, they come in a cone and they are served with mayonnaise, not ketchup. But their mayonnaise is even better because it's a little bit spicy. So they add a little mustard from Dijon, which is an area in France. I love all of the French foods. There's some great, you've heard of ratatouille, thanks to the movie, which is a really great vegetable dish. I can't even think of one I don't like. They're all fantastic.
All right, thank you. Next question. How is it different from living in France than living in America?
In France, things are a little different because it's still kind of got that feel of an old country where you go to the store every day for fresh local things instead of going to big grocery stores like Costco and getting bulk items. They're getting there, but I still like that. They also walk a lot more than we do. And their frame of mind is a little more relaxed and a little more about enjoying life rather than work.
Awesome. Next question. Is it any different in Europe than it is in America?
Yes, definitely. They are much more international. And in fact, did you know that kids your age in France, in Europe, know more about the United States and what's going on in our country than maybe some of the kids who actually live here? They are very international, and they know they look at the world as a whole and not just their country.
That's very interesting. Last and final question. What are some of the best things you've ever done? Actually, that's not the last question, but what are some of the best things you've ever done in France?
Oh my goodness. Bike riding. I love to ride my bike in France. Lots of people ride their bikes in France because gasoline is very expensive and cars are very expensive, and to get your license is very expensive. So it's sometimes faster and a lot cheaper to ride your bike. So that's been a lot of fun to ride my bike around different towns in France. Visiting some of the tourist spots. I especially love, of course, Paris and all of its sights, the Tour Eiffel, the Arc de Triomphe, the Champs-Élysées. There's nothing like those, but there's something very, very special about visiting the beaches of Normandy, where a lot of the fighting during both World War I and World War II, but especially World War II, happened. A lot of history, a lot of emotions run very close to the surface there, even with the people who live there, and especially those who experienced it, because there are still some around. Fewer and fewer every year, but it's a very emotional place to go to those beaches of Normandy and to walk where those soldiers walked.
Awesome. I love that story. This is the last question. What are some of the best cities you've been in France?
Oh, wow. Well, Paris is definitely an amazing place. I lived there for a while, but it's more of a tourist place. It's fantastic, but it's touristy. I especially loved Orléans. I love the history of it. When during the 100 Years' War, Joan of Arc, freed the French from the British there in Orléans. It's also called the Valley of Castles because there are tons of castles near and around Orleans, and so I loved visiting that. What are some other great? I love Avignon. There's a little kid song called Sur le pont d'Avignon, on the bridge of Avignon, because during World War II, part of the bridge was bombed, and they decided as a city to not repair it. So only half the bridge is there now, so you can't cross over it, but it's as a reminder of the sacrifices that were made during the war.
Okay, that's all. Yep, thank you.
Thank you.